Unless you're living under a rock, and truly, if you're living under a rock, Russia has invaded Ukraine, and so the West and the allies of the Ukraine, the best way that they're going to get involved in this is not actually getting guns out and going over there and fighting. They're putting the sanctions on. And the sanctions are monetary. But then now it's moved into other things. So what am I talking about? UEFA. The UEFA said, hey, Russia, no one actually wants to play your team. You're gone. Qatar, as of right now, if this keeps going on, you guys are not invited to the World Cup, which, let's call it what it is. It's called the World Cup for a reason. Everyone wants to be there from the world.
Yeah, it can't be called the kind of World Cup.
Yeah, it's the World Cup for a reason. From there, it goes over to the IIHF. They're going to redo the World Juniors this coming summer, and they've also told Belarus and Russia. So if you're friends of Russia, you ain't coming over either. That's been now determined as well, as long as this war keeps going on. And Euro Soccer said, no, you guys are out as well. And now even Ovechkin. I'm not sure if people heard this, but here's the thing. CCM is one of the sponsors to Ovechkin. They didn't kick him off. They just said, Ovi, we're going to put you on the sidelines right now. We can't have you advertising our sticks or our equipment or anything like that right now. So the question of the day, Dimitri, and we want to kind of just bring it out because it is happening. How is sports being involved? Should the sports be involved in these political times?
You know what? I told you this, and I'll start on this road and say I couldn't believe with everything going on over there how it has bled into pop culture.
Yeah.
And if you want to call it cancel culture or whatever you want to put the label on it, but it was immediately like in every area of life, like not like from marketing, from this and that, but yeah, even with sports. And I always thought that sports was the untouchable realm, right? To say, so where do I stand on it? Yeah, I mean, when I look at a guy like Ovechkin, it's not his fault.
No.
You know, that he happens to be Russian and all of a sudden CCM turns around and says, hey, we're benching you. Or organizations say, hey, no, we're not. This, like at one point, I feel bad because, again, athletics, there's that code. There's no real politics in athletics. However, we are in a different world.
That's right.
And CCM is not booting Ovechkin because they don't like the guy.
That's right.
They're really not booting him because he's specifically Russian. They're booting a guy like him because they're saying, look, man, we still got to sell sticks. And it's not a you thing. It's not a me thing. Now it's a consumer thing. Consumers will not buy a stick that has a Russian name on it.
That's right.
Like, hey, honey, sugar, baby, sweetie, like we can't do it. Yeah. Sorry, Ovi. And now you look at the business of sports. Mm-hmm. Well, now these organizations are saying, well, you know what? Yeah, maybe some higher ups, maybe know a couple people to put pressure, politically. But Mitch, they're looking at it and saying, well, we need people to turn on the TV. Yeah. We need people to sponsor. We need people. Remember with Tiger Woods. Okay, Tiger Woods had an affair. Hey, sorry.
Yeah.
Big deal. Okay, you had an affair. It is what it is. But we can't have you on Nike anymore.
That's right.
We can't, this is where we are in the world. We would never have this conversation probably 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's just, or 20 years ago. It's a different world.
Yeah.
I get it.
You know what? I think you said it beautifully. It's a different type of world now. And wars don't necessarily have to be, and please don't take this the wrong way. It's not just bullets and missiles that are being launched now. Now it's money. That's where you're really going to hurt somebody, and by putting these sanctions on, I'm pretty sure Putin sat there when he thought he was going to do this. I'd like to think he put some thought into it in his own mind. And he said, okay, they're probably going to shut down the banks. They're going to do this. I don't know if he thought about the sports thing, and nor do I think he cared.
I don't think he cares.
Yeah, but at the same time, what's going to happen is,
but the people care.
I think where the organizations are smart by getting involved, like the UEFA, like the CCMs, they're saying, hey, you're a big figure, Ovi. Maybe lay out a phone call to Putin, and tell him, hey, man, I'm being affected by this too. And again, he may not care, but that's the kind of war that the world is at now. It's not just guns and bullets and missiles and all that stuff. It's also now monetary and it's reputational. It's like right now, Russia will never, as it stands, maybe the Paralympics. That's also not going to happen now. Those Russian athletes are not going to go and participate in that either. It's a problem all the way around. It sucks. It's horrible. It shouldn't bleed into it, but it makes sense why it's happening. And based on the circumstances, it needs to be done. It had to be done. It's not. I'm sure none of these organizations wanted to say, sorry, guys, we don't want to involve you. But it's the only way to maybe get his attention. Judo. So Putkin, he's a big judo guy. They took one of his degrees off. He's like a 3rd or 4th degree judo belt. They took the Federation of Judo said, no, you're not a black belt anymore. They took his black belt away.
So what does he do? He's got to go to judo college.
He's got to go.
He's got to get a supplement.
College. Yeah, man. I mean, it's affecting. I mean, they're doing everything. Think about this. They're literally doing whatever they can to try to be like, dude, what you're doing is wrong. It's not good.
What they bopping. You can say what you got when it's Tuesday. I be locked in.